and you guys can see what they do for like a porchetta. And then instead of just like a whole giant porchetta, I'll just cut it down into the boneless chops and boneless belly pieces. We all take one. But I'll show you how they roll it, and then I'll pull the cocoa on it too, and I'll cut little steaks into that, so you guys can see. So it'll be a little different than the way I did it last time. This way, actually, you get your baby backs, and you get your spare ribs this way. You know, your spare ribs good. If you're going to do tomahawks, is the way to do it. If you're going to do a porchetta, is the way to do it. Your chops is the way to do it. So I'll just do porchetta way. That's usually people are putting in that kind of stuff. Here's your leaf lard. Got some of that hanger steak on it. Hanger steak, spur steak.
It's really too small though to do anything with it.
I mean, I know chefs who use this all day long.
Really?
Yeah, they do. I've seen Juniper Knight down in down in Little Italy. Yeah, Richard Blade's place. They'll get this and they'll season it somehow and like braise it. It's almost like raw when they're serving it. It tastes super good. You know, when we were doing higher numbers, he would buy lots and lots of these from us. We just bags them and send them to him. So just trying to 3 bones over. And 2, when you're going to saw like this, guys, it only works when you're going forward, not when you're going back. So when you're going forward, back, nice and easy, forward, then you get your back. Okay.
Push on hold.
You see what I was talking about there? I went too far left. And you see that blade bone? I caught that in there. But so when I pull the copa, that is the line you follow right there. So that's your copa right there. So as I'll pull this bone out right here, I'll start from this seam down here. You guys want to come check us out? I'll start from this seam right here and I'll work my way out. And then I'll get my copa out. Okay, so we'll pull the tenderloin again. You guys will see it last time. So the tenderloin starts about right where the rib starts. You really want to make sure your knife is way back in there. Not leaving any behind.
This kind of cut that we get, that's definitely right there.
Yeah.
You kind of work your fingers down there and you pull it out.
Is that pulled off every time?
Yeah.
You see, it's a seam there. So as you're going, you can almost. I'm doing this barehanded. It just comes out. If it gets stuck, you pull it.
Should be right back there.
Yeah.
And there's your tenderloin. What we used to do, I've seen guys too, so when you're sort of tenderloin, you really want to make sure you're getting all this stuff off of it. This is pretty much leaf lard. It's real tough. I'm trimming this up, and then you roll, I can get even more of that off. See, that's the silver skin right there. You want to pull all that off, so you kind of get into your knife. I went a little too far.
You guys ever work with this at home? The guy that showed me how to cut beef and deer and everything else. You know the old school clipboards, like the press clipboard with a little clip? You used to hang it on there and you could peel it off.
You can either cut it in like little medallions, like they do like on a filet mignon.
Viewers will be here. Viewers will be here.
So that would be a pink filet mignon right there.
Yeah. Last one.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of get ready to do a porchetta. So what the line you want to follow is, so you got your rib cage. It starts here and it works your way down. So your baby back and your spare rib. So your knife is going to follow the rib the whole way through here and then back through this way. That's the baby back rib and the spare rib. So I'm going to follow that line all the way across, and that's how I'm going to pull the bone off. So you're going to have all your loin and all your belly still in the cut. Come up through there, and follow the loin and pop right through there. This is a smaller pig, so the feather bones are kind of breaking a little easier than they normally would. So always, guys, the backwards knife coming through here, you have more control, but really watch when you're going through, because you can pull through and get yourself in the cut. So if you're doing something like this and you're making little cuts and stuff in the belly, and it doesn't look as clean. It's okay because you're gonna roll it up and no one's even gonna see it.
You guys get all of this.
So all the smelly bones I'm leaving behind, and make sure you trim those off. Oh, thanks guys. Okay, so like right here guys, see how this is where I split it back. This is the spot the part where I split it really nice. So you have dorsal bones that sit up out here. So you really want to make sure you cut back and behind those bones, but keep your knife roll up flat straight so you're not cut down into the loin.
So that's like where the meat works with you, you don't work with me.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
make it go where you want.
Yeah. You really want to be on the bone the whole time you're doing this kind of stuff, so you're not cutting into the
Yeah, you're not going, I won't follow you, you're going to follow me.
Oh yeah, it's all it is, yeah. What's it doing here?
Ours is going to get this done. But it's just, it doesn't have this part.
See how I'm leaving my nasty stuff here and not here? So really make, the best way to do it is make sure your tip's always up that way so it looks gross here and not here. So you get rid of that and the company comes over, well, good job in here, but they never see that. Good. So let's see if left over, you do that. So when you're done with it, you got your boneless loin and your boneless belly. There's a little bit of leaf left in here we'll pull off. But then so right here you got, so let's to this side. So right here, you got your spare rib and your baby back. So what you can do, just cut along there. You got enough table. This pig's a little smaller, and it cuts really close to the bone. If you get a bandsaw, or like, it zip right through it, this is making this harder than it should be. No. So when you're doing something like porchetta, you really don't keep the bone in the best looking way. So there's your baby back right there. So if you trim that up, usually like when you get from the store, they'd be in a bandsaw and they'd shine it off. So they cut it right along there, and you have your little baby back ribs right there. And then you have your spare rib. If you want to do like Kansas City style, what they do is they just cut that off there. It looks more like a baby back, and you cut through with a knife. You don't have the gristle on the end of it. This right here, this is pretty much all going to go in trim. That's part of the sirloin, and this is all leftover loin that I cut off and went flat through here, and then you're using the bone for stocks. So you come through here if you want to. Almost like how you pull tenderloin, just get your knife and walk it in there. And we'll do this before we package everything up. You just throw in the trim for sausage, and then use the bone for stocks. When they're doing a porchetta, they want the belly. There's all the feather bones I was telling you guys about. So this usually would be attached to the spare rib, but I cut through it.
So for ground pork, is it like beef where you do all the scraps like.
Yeah, you can do anything you want.
So it's
Yeah.
all, okay.
All the trim, yeah, that's what it is. Run that through the grinder, make
I mean,
sausage, make.
if you really want to take your time to do it, you can pick every bit of meat off this and throw it right into that grind, and you could have ground pork no problem. Or use a bone for stocks. The sirloin, you can see how the meat gets really red right here. That's the part that you don't want in your porchetta. So porchetta, and you're gonna roll it. You want the ends to look really square. So you're gonna look at your piece of meat. Square that up right there, right into the trim.
Belly.
And then you're gonna look at this, square that up right there on the center cut, and that goes in your trim. So when you're doing a real porchetta, it's skin on 900% of the time. They roll it up like this, season it, and tie it. So you tie like that and you bake it, and then cut it in little pieces. That's a porchetta right there.
Yeah.
It's real simple to do. You know, it's mostly the seasoning and how you prepare it. If you're a really good porchetta, it's the best thing you ever had in your entire life. Like, they're so good. Get your knife, walk down that piece right there,
Nice.
and there's your belly. You make a big piece of bacon, and then there's your belly. You cut the little loin chops. It's that easy. So I'm gonna cut these into real thin, boneless chops for you guys. See how I got towards where the copa is, and it kind of starts falling apart? That's when you're getting into the meat that you really don't want in your pork chops. This is gonna be good. When you cut your chops, I like them thick. You know, some people put them a little thinner. I mean, personally, this meat, you can cook this meat a little rare, it's a little cleaner. And two, when you're like dealing with a commercial pig, the fat in it is where all the nasty stuff goes. So when we're giving it all like the crap food and antibiotics, it all goes to the fat, so it becomes real bristly. Our fat doesn't do that, so it kind of binds onto the meat a little better. You just eat our fat normal. But the thing is too, is it renders down a little sooner and goes away a little faster than like a bristly fat. So when you cook it really well, it dries out really fast. So I cook mine a little rare most of the time. So that's all your boneless pork chops. This is a really easy thing to go on the grill or on your oven, whatever you want to do with it. Well, it didn't take much to get there. With the belly, I'm going to cut this into even sections for you guys, just so we have enough for what kind of the chops are.
You may cut this in chops?
Yeah, cut that into little steaks. Okay, and then I'll start. You use that. I'll start with this. And I'll start on the copa. Okay, so we do it like before when I'm looking at the picnic and a butt, and I pull the bone out after. This you want to pull out before, so you're actually going to find that seam and pull the copa off a little easier. So what I'm going to do is just pull this whole bone off right here, the whole collarbone. That's going to be in one big piece. And that's really good in the stocks and, you know, all your, make a bone broth out of it if you want. So really, come around here and really follow that bone. You want to stick to that bone as close as you can, because if you don't, you're going to cut right into your copa. Like sometimes guys we use like a big 7-inch boning knife if they're really good. I don't like doing that because I'm not that good, because you lose where your tip of your knife is, and also if you're cutting, you're just dragging your doing it. So I like to stick to like a 5-inch or 6-inch at the most. It really slows you down a little bit, and it makes you really aware of where your knife is. You're not cutting anything.
Right. That's where the ball joint is, right?
No, this is where the neck was.
Okay.
So you got like when they split it, you cut the neck bone a little bit, so you get a little collarbone. Okay, so when I'm gonna pull the copa, you can almost see it coming apart right here. See that? And as you're pulling this up, you're gonna be feeling toward the bone. That's all seam right there. You're gonna be feeling for the bone. We call it paddle bone. That's behind the copa. Remember how it is. See how you look in there? It's like separating without even cutting it. It's just like it's just a seam, and you can just pour it off it. Check it out. It should just roll off.
How many people have ever cooked a copa before? Not many, yeah, a couple guys. That's why
Try to get hands on one.
Oh yeah, They're hard to find. Obviously, you can see how small they are.
There's your pump right
Great to
there.
cut into
So what
steaks,
you
great
do-
to cure, great to do.
So what you do is this meat right here, you just trim this off.
That's what I say.
Instead of the trim,
That's a Copa
that's
steak.
your
and
pump
you
right
cut
there. So it pretty much looks like a loin.
It is. It's
Yeah,
another
it's an
one.
extension of the loin, yeah.
Back
Look at that.
side
This guy, you can pull out of it, throw the barbecue like that.
So that's essentially like right here.
It would be
It's the top of your
essentially
shoulder.
Yeah.
Like turn around.
be like your trap.
Turn around.
Right next to your shoulder.
Yeah, right there, yeah. When you kind of do that, you kind of take all a lot of the prime shoulder meat. So, you know, this kind of isn't the best thing to do, but you can do it. You can make sausage out of this. You could cut it here, and you have to see this blade right here. You can trim this little piece of meat off, cut it there, and you have a little roast. They call it like a paddle roast. So you have the meat on top here. When you look right here, excuse me guys, my throat's cold. You have little steaks right here you can pull off. This is like really good meat if you can get it out of there. Make it a mess of it before
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a little piece of meat. It's real tender. A bigger pig, you get more. You can pull it out of this side too. This is stuff like you'll never just want to do this at home. It's just like a good pain in the butt. Unless you really want it, yeah. Well, that's why it's. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
So you pull out two little steaks like that. They're not huge, but they taste good, you know, kind of thing. This, I just bone this out and make sausage out of it. You can pull that off, do a picnic roast, you got your hock still. This is definitely going to all be trimmed. I'll pull this off and kind of show you guys what the blade looks like on the other side.
You get to see the difference in color between what you see at Albertsons, what you see.
Oh, the white skin.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Smells like chlorine.
It smells like chlorine. That's pretty red. I mean, that can be easily confused for beef, but
So you see what you're looking at here? That's the blade bone on the other side. So if you pull that whole area off, that's where those steaks are. Those are those steaks right here. One was in here, one was in there. So it's kind of protected from the rest of the stuff. You just cut that off using your stock. You saw that bone anyway. Look at the Copa steaks I cut into. And if you want to get real fancy with them, you just trim them like that.
oh, for sure, yeah.
Is that cured?
You can cure it. That's the Coca-Cola is that right? Yeah. Coca-Cola, and that's super good, man. You know, yeah.
That's all just
once you cure it and they cut it a little, give you like half ounce, $5,000. You know, same thing with the leg. You know, you do the what's it, Mike? Prosciutto. There we go. Is there any more questions about anything? Me and Mike are gonna finish kind of get this all portioned out and give everyone some stuff to take home. Any more
If you guys got
questions?
any questions, yeah, feel free to ask about anything. What's for dinner?
What did you guys think?
It was great.